Hello Internet people, and today we'll be looking at how grassroots coaches can actually put a session together to coach under 9s or under 11 how to play in between the lines. And it's a 4-part video. In the first part we're going to deal with the technical part of it, and in the second part we're going to do a game related video showing you basically how you all set up to make them understand how to play between the lines. And in the third part we'll be splitting the pitch into 3 halves: defense, midfield and attack, having 2 teams there. They'll be locked in their grid, showing them how to do that. You can coach them how to do it as well. And in the fourth part we're going to game related situation and what coaching points you need to put forward and what you're looking for. Right, if you look up the caption you can see Aston Villa versus Man City. Oh, before I say that, you probably heard us saying that in the tunnel or when you all line up to play it's 11v11, but when the game starts it's loads of small sided games or lots of rondos. And we're going to talk about rondos now. If you look at the caption at the moment you can see Aston Villa versus Man City, and the player on the ball is played that ball in between the lines. I think it's to De Bruyne. Now again, if you look at the caption you can see 5 Man City players in the caption with 2 Aston Villa players in the middle. Now the player on the ball could have gone right to the player wide, and that player then plays it down the line, and that player down the line, which I think is the winger, can have a 1v1 against that defender. But he decided to play in between the line towards De Bruyne, who could then turn, run at the defence, and he's got number 21 on the left hand side. He could probably give it to him. How do we do that? Well, we start first, well I do anyway, with this. It's a rondo, which is used by Pep Guardiola, and also prior to that the great Johan Cruyff took it to Barcelona and he used it. Now the rondo, you get everything except shooting at goal: passing, closing down, movement. You can try to dribble if you want, everything in there. So if you see the setup and the way you start the session, you get your players together and explain to them what you're going to do. It's always nice to show them how you can do that. Either have a little caption like that and say that's how we're going to line up to do this, or you have yourself a tactical board. You can get one on Amazon, costs about I think £20, and you can show them on there how it's done. And once they start, the instructions you give to them, you say to them, look, we're going to have 2 in the middle, you're not going to be the outside. All I want you to do, make sure you stay on your toes and pass the ball to each other. And it has to be on the ground, nothing overhead. And the 2 in the middle, what you say to them is to basically close the player down and see what they do. Now leave it for about 2 minutes, let them get used to it, then you bring in your coaching points. The first thing you're going to say to them, ask them how many passing lanes do you have, or line I should say, and see what they say to you. They might give you the answer, they might not. They might give you 1 or 2, but then you reinforce and say to them, the first line of pass is to the player next to you, the closest player next to you. The second pass is to a player past the defender, as you can see in this caption. And the third one is the killer pass you're looking for, in between the player, which is between the lines, as we can see here. Now the player on the ball, like I said before, could have gone wide to the right player, but what he decided to do is to play in between the lines. You could say it's past the player as well, because of the player next to it. You could say it's like this, past the defender. Now you've got to make sure that you do not too much coaching, because you want to let them make their own decisions. Don't tell them when the play is on to play in between. See what they do. Now if they don't do it, you can stop it and then coach it. But just let them play and see if they get used to it. And at the end of it, you can have a discussion and ask them, did they understand it? And then maybe talk about the game. And you could talk about which team in the Premiership plays like that. And tell them to actually watch the game and see if they spot the rondo. I mean, here it's quite obvious, you can see it. You know, you can see the 4 players, 1 player in the middle, and the player on the ball has options. That's what you say to them. Get them to do some homework basically. And that's it. That's the first session, or the first coaching points, and see how you get on. On video 2, we were looking at game related, but a semi sort of like, it won't be full on game, and you'll see what I mean in the second video. Peace and out. Hope you enjoyed it.